Namaste friends, hope you're doing well. We're going to start a new series of grahas in its house placements. We have completed Rahu, Ketu, Sun, Moon and Mars. In this series we'll be talking about Mercury. So what happens when Mercury goes to the ascendant or Buddha in Lagna? What happens? So first you must understand what is the first house. The first house is all about your identity, who you are as a person. What sort of inclinations, what sort of propensities do you have, and how do you behave in public? How people perceives you is in this is a very important house because the first house is everything starts in the first house. The calculations, the positions, every other data is derived from this first house. So it is very important when you have a certain graha in this house. We can very easily identify who you are as a person. Okay, you may behave differently in outside or in your family or wherever it is. However, this house placement, the first house, will give exactly the astrologer who you are really. Okay. So what happens when Mercury comes here? As you know, Mercury is the Karaka for intelligence and also sorting out things in life. Managing things. Managing is if you have a strong Mercury, then you are very you do things very controlled, very precise, very managed, very your life seems to be very how can I say, very it has. You know what you're going to do. I mean, every time when you do something, you have a plan for it. You would not do anything without a plan. Okay, from your life, so you when you're schooling, you're already planning. Okay, I should be doing this sort of work when I grow up. When you're working, you already plan. Okay, towards the retirement, how this is where I should be living. These sort of things you already have. When you have a child, you'll just have a child. You have a baby. You're already deciding, already thinking. What sort of future the child should have. Everything is managed proactively in your life. Okay, that's what Mercury does. So what happens when these two things comes together? When the Mercury comes to the first house, of course, everything that I'm saying would mean both pleasant and adverse, and also depends on what sort of placements that you have, whether they are in a different signs, how were they affected by malefic grahas. You need to check the avastas, you need to check their rupas. There's so many things that we need to gather before actually making a judgment. But what I'll be explaining in this video is both the pleasant and adverse effects when you have Mercury in the first house. All right. But again, Mercury is a very important planet, and he bestows the person a lot of goodness and a lot of satisfactory in their life. Okay, it gives you a lot of contentment because when you have order, when you have order, when you have control in your life, everything seems to be very contented, right? Or else imagine if your life is filled with chaos and you wake up in the morning, you don't know how the day is going to be. You're so confused. And Mercury solves that problem. A strong Mercury will give you exactly the hints for the day, what you're supposed to do, what are the things that you should be taking care of, who you're supposed to meet. Everything is like a planner. I mean, it's like a self diary, a self planner inside you. You not only you write things about what's happening like a journal, but you also plan on what will happen. Okay, everything else is documented, written down, and reminders and everything, so that your life will be in order. You have a good sense of what this life is. Okay, this is not only for mundane things like what I just explained, but also life in a greater sense. Life is like your dharma, how you should sort your dharma, how you should manage your dharma, what are the ways to be self-righteous, how do you practice benevolence. All these things is seen in Mercury. So let's see what happens when Mercury goes to the first house. Okay, let me see. First of all, you will have a very friendly and pleasant attitude. Okay, your personality, you will be like childlike, personality. You will be very jovial. People will feel very comfortable when you are around them, and you'll have many friends for one thing if you have in the first house. um, your mind will be strong, and you'll have the true understanding with a clear vision on what life is all about. You won't have any sort of shrouds of curiosity, or you will not be confused. You'll exactly know what life will unfold to you. You'll exactly know what life will bring forth to you. These things will be very, very clear for you. Okay, because as I said, Mercury is strong, and when it goes to the first house, it creates that identity within yourself, who you are as a person. Some people call you as a control freak. Also, you tend to be very precise in your things. Even things like, even at home, if someone places the house key somewhere else rather than the key holder, you will get very angry and annoyed. You'll get very upset of the situation. I mean, it can be a small thing, but then it sort of disturbs that equanimity, the balance in your life. Even it can be even small thing. Everything has to be precise. Everything has to be controlled. Everything has to be in order. Okay, that the sort of personality you'll have, because the first house is the personality house, right? Also called the Dhanu Bhava. Okay. The first house, you'll be blessed actually with eloquence. Eloquence means good in speech, proficient in your words, very tactful in your words. That's what eloquence is. And you'll be born with that. Even from a young age, you will have this great ability to talk to people, to even convince them. Your eloquence is so sharp that when you grow up, if you are doing a different field rather than oratory or public or politics, if you are doing something else, let's say you're doing a job which doesn't require you talking, you will definitely feel very miserable. Your life may seem a question mark at times, as why do you feel, because you feel suppressed. You must talk. You are a very talkative person, very outgoing, very controlled, and if you are doing some job which is in reverse to what I've said just now, then you'll feel very, very stressed out. You feel something is missing in your life. Okay, this is something for you to understand. And if you are feeling very like a hole in your heart, you feel something is missing, chances are you are not doing the job which requires you to do talking. You are doing something like a desk job, or you are doing something on a research level. Okay. Although Mercury is ruled by mathematics, okay, it's all logics. Is Mercury rules it also, as much as Mars. Mercury also rules logics and mathematics. But you must have something to do with talking to people. Okay, so chances are, if you are a lecturer or a mathematics lecturer, or if you are doing you wrote a book on some logics, and then you're going to talk about it, you need to get yourself into whatever means that requires you to talk. If you don't do that, then you're suppressing yourself. Okay, let's continue. What else? You'll also have this very endurant personality. You can hold any problems. You do not emotionally react to it very fast. You can hold it. You can take that pain. You can take that challenge in life, and you'll find ways to solve them also, if Mercury is well positioned. Okay, if Buddha is well positioned. If not, it's going to give you all sort of problems, right? Now, what else can I see? Mercury in the first house also gives you the artistic blend also. Okay, you'll be your inclination will be also on arts, music, as well as mathematics. You will find a balance between logics and also art. This is something nice for this graha. They will strike a balance. They'll be also very, if you have this, chances are you love music, at the same time you love logical things, like crossword puzzles, mathematics, astronomy. This sort of logical science is your interest as well. You strike a perfect balance to it. All right. That's a little bit about what I think Mercury would do to you on your first house. I hope it has been beneficial. Till the next time, thank you. Namaste.